Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool Autism Life. My name is Jamie. Today I'm outside and my eyes are so squinty because of the sun, so I hope you don't mind me wearing sunglasses to kind of filter that out a little bit. But today's video is all about choosing to be thankful with an autistic child. And the reason why I titled that is because I feel like after years and years of looking after a special needs child, that has seen me through so many of the bad days and the frustrating days and the days where you're just like, I wish it was easier. I wish life was easier. Sometimes you see other families and they're talking and playing and going out and they're carefree and they're going on vacations, and your spouses, the spouses are able to go away for a week trip, just the two of them, because they have family and babysitters and all of that. And they're able to do so many things that we're not able to accomplish. And if you're able to do that, I'm so thankful that you have that. But for those of us who don't, and I think there's a lion's share of individuals who have that, I think there's a big disconnect sometimes, because you're like, yeah, it's my anniversary coming up on July 1st, and my husband and I kind of looked at each other and went, what are we sorry, there's a guy on a bike just singing in his headphones going by. But yeah, no, we kind of looked at each other, what are we going to do for our anniversary? And it was just like, I don't know, what do you want to do sort of thing, because the options are not there. There's not a lot of options for us to be able to go and do things together as just spouses, just us, right? And that leads to a whole bunch of other issues. But I think thankfulness is the one thing that can be a malady. Oh, and now my neighbor is mowing her yard. Hopefully it's okay. She's got an electric one, so hopefully it's quiet. But yeah, no, it's definitely one of those things where I feel really strongly about the juxtaposition of what you're dealing with can be fixed by being thankful. And so I just wanted to talk about that today. So building a habit of thankfulness is actually a lot easier than people think. Sometimes a lot of it has to do with really looking for the teeny tiny things. You can have a horrible day, a day that you feel just is, you want to go back to bed and start over again. And this happens, semi-regularly, where you're just like, oh, I started waking up in a bad way, or I'm struggling and I don't know what to do. And yeah, that's when I usually stop myself and go, what's one thing that I can be thankful for even in this moment? So one of the things I will say is the sun is out today. Now, again, that's not a big thing, but for me, I love just sitting outside with my face tilted up towards the sun and just feel the warmth on my face. Now, that might be something that others would be like, oh, whatever, that's not something to be thankful for, but I really feel like it is. If it's raining, it's okay, I don't need to water my garden or my lawn or my flowers today. Or it's raining and the farmers desperately need it, so I'm going to be thankful for that. Yeah, it doesn't matter what the day looks like. It can be something, anything. You open your eyes to every single possibility. I've looked down and I saw, a wildflower that I thought was gorgeous, and I'm like, thank you, Lord, for that one little thing. or it's been a horrible day with my girls, with their attitude or whatever, and then randomly they'll come and give me a hug, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be thankful for that because as much as I wanted to strangle this child most of the day, there was still a connection there and a moment that brought peace and joy. And so when I say build up a habit, I'm talking about get a journal where you take 5 minutes and you write in that journal every day something you're thankful for. You talked with your parents on the phone. You there's so many things. The dog didn't vomit on my carpet today, and she's been doing that a lot lately. Or it can be anything. You can also make it a habit that you do it while you're putting on your face. Like if you have a makeup routine or a hair routine, you're brushing your teeth. Walking to work, every time you go up the stairs in your house, you are using that moment to find something to be thankful for. And that just changes how you are looking at your day in general. So when you have this habit that you have built up over time, it's amazing. There's science that talks about how it rewires your brain. Your brain is not focused on the negativity, the things that are frustrating you, the things that are driving you crazy about life. Your brain is actually focused on the things that you can be thankful for. Thank you for my health, Lord. Today I feel great. I thank you for the fact that I could sleep in today. That my husband has work. There's so many different things, and the more you train your brain to think that way, the more your brain just goes, okay, this is the pathway that we're going to go over, the pathway of negativity. And it's something that I feel so strongly about because God gave that to me in a time when my life was falling apart. My whole world had changed. And when I prayed for wisdom, he said thankfulness. And I have seen it. My husband is a glass is half empty type person, and the glass is always half full. And I've seen the different ways we meet the challenge of special needs parenting, how we meet the challenge of day-to-day life and the frustrations that happen. The rewiring of your brain gives you a positive view on life. This focus can give you joy and peace despite your circumstances. You can still do this if you don't believe in God and stuff like that. However, if you do, I think it just gives it a more meaningful thing, because you're not just thinking, something that's undefined. You are thanking the Lord because he made you, he made the world and everything in it, and so you are thanking the being that actually created all of the things that you're thankful for. But like I said, if you're not a believer, I truly believe that this is, and I've seen it through several different podcasts with speakers who are not believers. Being thankful changes the attitude, changes your mindset, and that's what gives you peace and joy. So your life can be falling apart, and you will still find something, anything that changes that discussion point. All right. The understanding that you are not alone. When you say thank you to God for giving you anything and everything you have, God is by your side, carrying you, is another level of peace. So that's what I mean when I say that knowing the Lord makes a big difference in this, is that you are able to be like, no, Lord, you know, my dog, you know, that I recognize that you are carrying me through these hard times, and you have dropped off these little beautiful moments that I can be thankful for, and recognize that it's just not just me dealing with it. So if you're a special needs parent or you're going through a hard parenting time, that recognition of things you can be thankful for over and over and over again also reminds you to really focus on, Lord, how do I help? Like, how can you give me the wisdom to know how to deal with this negative parenting moment? Or there's so many times. I don't know if you've ever heard of the poem Footprints. It's a Christian poem, but it talks about a man who's walking on the beach at the end of his life, and he's looking at the set of footprints in the sand, and he recognizes at all the hard points in his life there's only one set of footprints, and he's like, Lord, what gives? Why? I mean, the times when I needed you most, you weren't there. And God responds, and he's like, no, that's not how that worked. In those moments, I carried you. That's why there's only one set of prints in the sand. And so again, this heart of thankfulness in the tough moments, in the hard times, and a habit even when things are good, it just changes you. It gives you the strength to keep moving and doing the things that you have to do. So I hope that this was a benefit to you. I highly, highly recommend the skill of thankfulness, because it does change how living in a world that is broken doesn't have to beat you down, doesn't have to change how you think, or it does change how you think. It doesn't have to affect you to a point where you are struggling for survival. Instead, it changes the way you think so that you have joy and peace despite those circumstances. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.